and welcome grade 4s to WorksheetCloud.com's online lessons. I would like to take this opportunity to warmly welcome all our new viewers for today. I hope that you are excited, enthusiastic to get into this lesson. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And lucky for you, you don't need a pen or a pencil till after this lesson. But if you'd like to write some things down, you know you are more than welcome to. So let's get into it. If you have any questions about this lesson or any of my other lessons, please send an email to grade4@worksheetcloud.com and we will get back to you as soon as we can after this lesson. So this lesson today is going to be on writing and presenting, and we're going to specifically be looking at a dialogue. Okay, so since I am already speaking, it kind of already gives away the whole idea of this lesson. So I hope that you got your conversation skills to the T, because that is what we're going to be focusing on today in this lesson. So the lesson outline for today is as follows. We are going to do a quote for today like I've been doing for the last few weeks, and I'm hoping that you are getting accustomed to. Then we're going to do something we haven't done in quite a while, which is sentence a day. And then we're going to look at what is a dialogue, the format of dialogue writing, and then we're going to be doing an activity. Well, you are going to be doing an activity. So the quote for today. A smile can change someone else's day, their mood, their outlook on life. So smile. So basically, this quote is telling you to be kind. Smile at someone, and smile at your parents, smile at your friends, because smiling can actually change someone else's outlook of something. Sometimes someone's having a really, really bad day, and then you smile at them and they smile back, and suddenly something changes in them. So, not to say you're going around and just smiling even when you are unhappy. I mean, there are days where you will feel down, and that's okay. But remember that showing an act of kindness to someone can never be a bad thing, okay? So, a smile can change someone else's day, their mood, their outlook on life. So, smile. And with that, grade 4s, I am going to leave you with my smile and carry on with the lesson. A sentence a day. This is my sentence. Grade 4s, I would like you to please break it up into its parts of speech. Now, we have done this a very, very long time ago. So some of you are probably like, oh, miss, I can't even remember where to start. So I have included the answers for you, and you can actually match them to the correct answers. And I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that. But let me read the sentence for you before we carry on with this lesson. Little Lucy happily played with the toys in the yard. That is the sentence, and you have to break it up into its part of speech. So I'm going to put the parts of speech on the screen, but not so quick, grade 4s. They are all jumbled up, so you have to match them. Right, let's put them on the screen. And there we have it. So after a few seconds, I will do it with you. So good luck, grade 4s. So I'm going to take out my pen over here. Let's find it. And I'm also going to partake in this lesson and see where the answers are. We're going to do this together. So Little Lucy happily played with her toys in the yard. So little is our first word in the sentence, and we're going to try and match it to the correct part of speech. So little Lucy. Lucy is being described, and when we use a describing word, we can see that this would be an adjective. So there we have it. Little is an adjective. I hope you all got that. Grade 4s. And Lucy. Now, as you can see, the answer to Lucy is not on the screen. You are going to have to try and remember this one. I'm going to change this common noun over here to a proper noun because that's what Lucy is. Lucy is a proper noun, and we all know how terrible my handwriting is. So please forgive me, grade 4s, as I attempt to write the word proper over here. I hope your handwriting is way better than mine, and I'm sure it is. Right, so it's a proper noun. See, I made a mistake, so I have to use my eraser. Let's erase that, and then we can go on with our lesson. And Lucy is a proper noun. Happily played with her toys in the yard. So my next word is happily. And happily is describing or telling me more about the verb played. So this one's quite simple. Played is the action word, which is the doing word of the sentence. And played is a verb, so I can actually draw my line to my verb at this stage. And happily tells me more about that word, so therefore it is an adverb. An adverb tells me more about verbs or adjectives, okay, or other adverbs. But in this case, it's telling me more about the verb. Okay, so with her toys in the yard, okay, with is telling me where played is in relation to her toys, and therefore it is a preposition. And I have a preposition over here. Ah, gosh, I'm doing it again. Now I have to erase that again. Grade 4s. Let's erase that again. And then I can take out my pen and do it properly. So preposition with over there. Her toys in the yard. Now, a lot of you would be like, her has to be a pronoun. Nope. In this sentence, her is a possessive adjective because it's telling me whose toys it belongs to, who the toys belongs to. Okay. Toys is a common noun. In preposition tells me where the toys are in relation to the yard. And yard is also a common noun. Okay, it's a name of everyday thing or an everyday thing. And the is not an adjective. It is a definite article. And to prevent you from having to see my terrible handwriting again, I am not going to write out definite article. I'm just going to help you remember it. So, little, adjective. Lucy, proper noun. Happily, adverb. Played, verb. With, preposition. Her, possessive adjective. Toys, common noun. In, preposition. The, definite article. And yard, common noun. I hope you got all of that right, grade 4s. So, now to speak about our actual topic for today. What is a dialogue? So, a dialogue is a conversation that is written down as part of a narrative text. Examples of dialogue. Dialogue can appear in many different forms of text. For example, inverted commas. Those are punctuation marks. And remember, when we learned about direct and indirect speech, we learned about the inverted commas that we put the words in when we want to show that they are being spoken. So here we have inverted commas over here, and I'm going to underline them, okay? It is used to show direct speech in a sentence. For example, today we are learning about dialogue writing, said Mark. Remember, there must be a comma there, and there we have our inverted commas. So Mark actually said these words, okay, and that's put into inverted commas. That sounds wonderful. Do you think you will like it? Asked Jane. So now Jane is speaking. Again, we put it in inverted commas, and that is a conversation between the two of them. So Mark and Jane are having a conversation, and it's written in direct speech. We can also express a dialogue, a conversation or speech that is written down as part of a piece of narrative text, as mentioned before. This is an extended piece of dialogue because it includes a response. Each time a new person speaks, it should be put in on a new line. So basically, we are looking at script writing, okay? And in script writing, we have people speaking and we use a colon to determine that the next person is about to speak. So it's not written in direct speech as we know it, but now we are going to learn a new format of a dialogue. So in a play script, dialogue is set out with characters' names on the left, followed by the colon with the dialogue. It does not need speech marks. So you do not put them in inverted commas because now you already know that this is a dialogue, and after the colon, the person is saying these words. So here we have it. Mark, I put on the left-hand side of my page with a colon over here. Okay, and then I say what exactly Mark said. So I don't have to say Mark said and then the colon, or I don't have to say Mark said with my inverted commas. No, I just say Mark, or I just write Mark with my colon, and then today my class is learning about dialogue writing. Then Jane speaks. So Jane, I write her name in the next line. I don't continue it. I write it in the next line. Again with my colon. That sounds wonderful. Do you think you will like it? And so my dialogue will continue. A dialogue is a conversation. However, as you can see, grade 4s, there are different ways to show dialogue in writing. But for the purpose of this lesson, we are going to be looking at dialogue writing as in a play script, okay? Because we are going to move away from direct and indirect speech, so to speak, so that we can move on to find out what the format is of an actual dialogue when you are writing or preparing a play. So in summary, a dialogue is a conversation, like these four boys are having over here. It's a conversation. It can be written in different ways. For the purpose of this lesson, we will focus on play script dialogue writing. For example, Tom is one of these boys over here. You can think or imagine which one. We should play hide and seek. So I don't say Tom said we should play hide and seek. I just have Tom over here with my colon, and then we should play hide and seek. And then Devin, who is probably one of the other boys over here, says, I think that is a great idea. So I don't say Devin said I think that's a great idea. I just have my colon. I think it is a great idea. So dialogue writing is about the format, okay? And this is how a lot of children loses marks when they are writing a dialogue for assessment. They forget that they don't have to put it in inverted commas. They forget that they don't have to put said before the words. And that is how they lose marks. Also, they forget that when you are writing a script dialogue, that each person, when each new person speaks, you put it in a new line. So those are important things to remember. But we are going to be looking at the format of play script writing soon. And here we have it, the format of dialogue writing. So, Jane and Mark go to school and they are excited about their new learning activity. They decide to have a conversation about what they are expected to do. Now, before you do any kind of writing, it's always nice to practice before. So you can get into a conversation with someone and then afterwards write that conversation down. So, Jane, colon. That means that Jane is about to start this conversation. So we are supposed to have a conversation. Mark, seems so, Jane. Jane speaks again. I think that this should be an easy task. Well, if everyone listens to the instructions. Mark, exactly. So, again, as you can see, Jane and Mark are having a conversation. They are talking about writing a dialogue for school. In this activity, you can see many things. You can see how they are each saying something but in different lines. And you can also see that there is an explanation before the conversation takes place. So here we have the different parts of dialogue writing that you need to keep in mind. Extra information is written in brackets. So when we are describing the situation or trying to give a little bit more information of the setting of where the dialogue is happening, we put that in brackets. It is in direct speech, but without inverted commas. So here when Jane is speaking, I don't have inverted commas there. And remember, this is what an inverted comma looks like, okay? It's on top, and we normally put that when people are speaking in direct speech. But we're not going to have inverted commas here because we are using our dialogue script writing. So we don't use our direct speech. It's direct speech without inverted commas. Each sentence is a response to the previous one. So when Jane speaks, afterwards Mark has a response. Then Jane responds to Mark, then Mark responds to Jane. And so the conversation continues. And the speaker's name is followed by a colon, okay? And remember, a colon and then afterwards the person's, whatever the person wants to say is said. And it is on the left hand side of the page. So here you can see all the speakers are over here. And I have to change my pen color because it's a bit difficult to see on this. Okay, so all my speakers are here on the left hand side of my page with my colons next to it to show that the person is about to speak. Also, something that you can keep in mind, grade 4s, is to skip a line. Okay, so that makes it more clearer as to say the other person is about to speak. Another thing to keep in mind that when the person is speaking, it doesn't matter if the person is speaking a whole lot of things. Like here, actually, you can see there's a mistake here, like instructions over here. This whole word or the sentences that come after that should actually be placed under here. Okay, try not to write under the word Jane. All that is said must be on the other side of the colon. And ultimately, grade 4s, I hope that that makes sense as to when you're getting your head around dialogue writing. And then an activity. Have a brief conversation about the weather with someone in your house and then write it down as a dialogue. And here I give you an example. Name one, so that can be your name or your parents' name or whoever's in the house with you. Have you seen the weather today? And then you skip a line. You put the next person's name in. Yes, it seems a bit strange. So again, it's on the next line. I have my colon and then what I'm about to say. And then the next line and the next line. Grade 4 is this is your homework activity or your extra activity for today. So the activity is provided for you after the lesson. And that's it from me today. So remember, you can send any questions about this lesson or any of my other lessons to grade4@worksheetcloud.com. An activity is provided for you after this lesson, so you know what it is about today, because you have to write a dialogue. And of course, I really hope that you enjoyed this. From me, Miss Nicole Frank. Goodbye.